I just got to Kentucky at a rest area. I stopped by to eat some lunch and check out this place. It looks pretty cool. The building, I passed through it before and it looks pretty nice. So I'm about to go check it out, see what the inside is like. Nice and fresh out here, 63 degrees. Feels good. I just walked around the rest area. I was trying to find a good spot to film this video, but I couldn't find anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it here in my truck. So question of the day is, are you protecting your commercial driver license? See, a lot of truck drivers, they take their CDL for granted and they tend to do things that are going to compromise their ability to drive a commercial vehicle. Some of those things include like breaking the law, so like speeding during construction zones, following other vehicles too closely. We had a guy in our company that he got a ticket for that, for following too closely to another vehicle, because if that person was to brake or something like that and his reaction is slow, that's gonna be pretty bad. But speeding is another thing. Like in California, speed limit is 55, and every time I go to California, I always go like 57, 58, nothing too crazy, but always truck drivers I see, they're going 60, 65, maybe even 70. Some of them, they go pretty fast, and there's always DOT officers, in the median or on the side, waiting to see who's speeding, and then they get pulled over and they start getting all mad that, and they start blaming California sucks and all this other stuff. I understand it sucks, but we gotta abide those rules, those laws, and it's those little things that are going to affect your points on your CDL. That a lot of us, don't. It's not that we don't care, but we take it for granted that we're gonna have a CDL forever. It's not gonna be that easy to take it away. Which, another thing is, alcohol and drugs. A lot of people, they always go out drinking whenever home time, and they drive while they have been drinking. Like for me, I always have a designated driver, and it's usually my wife. Now, whenever we do go out drinking, my wife usually is the one that drives. She don't drink at all, so she ends up driving home or whatever. Now, a lot of people get caught up with drugs too, and then if you have a CDL and you get caught with drugs, or you fail a drug test, or you skip a drug test, that's an American failure to a lot of companies' eyes. If that happens to you, you have to enter a program called SAP program, which is Substance Abuse Professionals, DOT's SAP program, which pretty much is just this program that after you got caught with alcohol or drugs that you have to take in order to get back into working. If you get caught with that and you don't take the SAP program, they're not gonna let you drive a commercial truck anymore. And that's frowned upon with a lot of companies, especially like the good companies. If I'm the owner of a company, I'm not gonna hire some alcoholic or some druggie. That's just me personally, and a lot of people do see it that way also. And then they're the ones mad because they can't find a good paying job, and the job that do end up landing don't really take care of them. They don't pay them good. They always have them doing illegal stuff like breaking the e-logs and stuff like that, which is gonna just put them in a worse position than what they're already in. And the other thing is, every CDL holder has to register with the clearinghouse, which the clearinghouse basically, it's a whole driver's profile of their alcohol and drugs. So if you get caught with drugs or alcohol, intoxicated or whatever, all they do is put it up in the clearinghouse, which is a FMCSA program. So when you go apply to a job, that employer is going to look at your profile that's in the clearinghouse to see what have you been caught or doing. Like my record's clean, so if somebody was to look at my clearinghouse, they wouldn't see nothing. That thing that started in 2020. But before that, in order to find out if somebody had been doing drugs or alcohol, or if somebody got DWI, you would have to call the previous employer, the past 5 employers or how many ever. But now all they have to do is go straight to the website, the clearinghouse, and they can see your past history of what has been added to your clearinghouse, which is, the clearinghouse is only for alcohol and drug tests, or if you can get caught with drugs. It's not like your resume or anything like that. It just shows what violations you have been in. So like me, I'm a law-abiding citizen, first of all, you know what I'm saying? I try to follow the rules, the laws, speed limits, whatever. Always, if I'm in construction zone, I try to go speed limit. Sometimes it kind of gets annoying because the speed limit is 55 and everybody's going 60, 65. Sometimes it does get annoying, and I push it, I go 60. I always go 5 over. I never go anything too crazy because you can get lucky 5-6 times, but that 7th time is when that DOT officer is gonna be waiting for you, and then it's just not gonna be a good time, And every time you get pulled over, some of these guys, they don't just write you up for speeding or whatever. They're gonna try to find everything and anything possible to try to get the most out of you, try to hurt you the most. So yeah, I always see people on Facebook asking who would hire a person that has been in the SAP program, which there's not very many companies that will. And not only that just hurts your ability to make more money in the long run. Because if you're trying to get like your endorsements or anything like that, try to find a better paying employer, that's just gonna hurt you if you have been in one of these programs. Because if it was up to me, I would hire the guy that has a clean record versus the guy that has been in that program. Even though this guy has been in that program and completed it and everything, he might have 5 more years of experience, but just the fact that he has to go through that program, I'm just gonna disqualify him right off the bat just for that. So if you think about it, getting your CDL, to me, is one of the best things I ever done for myself and to provide for my family, because it is like the cheapest piece of certification that I could get, and one of the things that pays the most. If you get your CDL and if you work hard at it, you can potentially make 6 figures. Which, what other profession can you name that you go to 4 weeks to school, which that's how long it takes to get CDL where I live, 4 weeks, pass the test, etc., maybe get a few endorsements, and potentially, come right out making 6 figures, or just put in a couple years of work and then you can make 6 figures. But what's another profession that you could do that? So if you look at yourself right now, if I look at myself, if for some reason they would take away my CDL, what would I do? What is out there for me to do that is gonna pay as much as me having a CDL? There's not really anything. I would have to find, go work at McDonald's, a fast food place, go work at a warehouse. A low skill, low paying job is the only thing that's going to be out there for me if I happen to lose my driver license. And not just that, that's going to hurt, my entire family. If the money that's coming in right now is not going to be the same once, we're just going to have to start downgrading pretty much everything. So if you were to start from scratch right now where you're at, what would you be doing? So you'd have to go to a 4-year college degree to make at least 6 figures. Not only that, you're gonna be in debt up to your neck. So name me another profession out there that you can get a certification or degree within 4 to 6 weeks and potentially be able to make at least 60, 70 grand. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of us, we just take our driver license for granted, and we seem to get mad when something goes south. When the DOT officer gives us a ticket, or the scale house, starts to write us up on all these violations we got going on. It's never our fault. We always seem to blame the officers. We don't seem to take any type of accountability anymore. So that is my 2 cents on protecting your CDL license. Listen, guys, you have to protect your CDL license. It's the only thing that's gonna keep food on the table, that's gonna provide for your family. We have to do better. A lot of reckless driving, not paying attention on the road or stuff like that. I think you can only get 6 points or 6 violations on your license before they revoke it. If they revoke your license, think to yourself, if they remove my license right now, what am I going to be stuck doing? We got to do better as professional truck drivers, and that's what we are. We are professionals, and we got to conduct ourselves in such a way. Every time, I hardly ever go to TA truck stop, but it says welcome professional drivers, which more than half of y'all ain't even close to being professionals. But I'm fixing to get back on the road. I got about 4 to 5 more hours left of driving. I'm probably gonna make it to Birmingham, Alabama. Then I got my delivery tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m.